Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Little kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bol 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 Nitai Goranga Nitai Goranga Nitai Goranga Gora Hari Nitai Goranga Nitai Goranga Nitai Goranga Gora Hari Jaya Sachinandana Avadutta Chandra Jaya Sachinandana Gora Hari Jaya Sachinandana Avadutta Chandra Jaya Sachinandana Gora Hari Nitai Gora Hari Bol 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Sri Radhe Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Sri Radhe Jaya Radhe Shyam 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 Jaya Radhe Shyam Namo Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Arivachakacharya Sarasata, His Divine Grace, A.C. Vakunan Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Amacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I was very inspired the last two classes, Omkara Prabhu and Maharaj. about the presentation on activities of Lord Shiva and the real nature. What? On the activities of Lord Shiva and the role that Lord Shiva plays throughout the Vedic literature, especially our Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. So, I was reading from the Harivamsa, and the Harivamsa has a wealth of information, so many details. And of course, the classes are short. So let's see if I can get to it. I had the page open and now it's disappeared. So I'll see if I can get to it later. But some of the things that Omkara Prabhu was saying in class on Monday is that Lord Shiva is a very loving service of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And we were discussing this point the other day with a group about how in India, sometimes people understand that Lord Shiva is the Supreme. And others think, well, no, Lord Vishnu is the Supreme, Lord Krishna. And how the prayers of Lord Shiva and the activity of Lord Shiva and the mentality of Lord Shiva clearly demonstrates, very clearly demonstrates, who is the Supreme Person. And it's not Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the best devotee of Lord Vishnu and obviously Lord Krishna. So this is a point that, these are points that Omkara Prabhu was making in his class, and how everything that Lord Shiva does is to please the Supreme Lord. And how Lord Shiva is so utterly magnanimous and kind and generous that he takes under his shelter the worst individuals and tries to bring them up, and does bring them up to a level where they will become eventually devotees to the Supreme Lord, especially if they observe how he is worshipping the Supreme Lord. And Maharaj yesterday was talking about how Shiva is under the influence of Yoga Maya, who is making him act in certain ways. But that's not against the nature of Lord Shiva. It is according to his own mentality and his own psychology. And how Krishna has an exceptional, most enticing way of creating situations which are away from the norm. It's always something special, something unique, something enchanting, and something wonderful to see how Krishna is acting. Lord Shiva is in the Shiva Tattva category. He's not Vishnu Tattva, he's not Jiva Tattva. He's Shiva Tattva. He has his own classification. And he's Asutosh, easily angered, but also easily pleased. So he's very magnanimous to his disciples or the people who pray to him or the entities who pray to him, and always tries to fulfill their desires, knowing that ultimately his desire is to get them to worship the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is the protector of the Holy Dham. He's present everywhere in the Holy Dham under many different names, protecting the Dham, and the ultimate form is Gopishwara. He is the protector of the Dham in the sense of at the highest level of the devotion of the gopis for the Supreme Lord. He's Chittahara Mahadev. And something that Maharaj mentioned yesterday was I didn't explain because there was no time, but the pastimes of Lord Shiva coming as a mendicant to see baby Krishna, and how everybody's scared of him because his attire and his presence is so fear-inducing that Mother Yashoda said, no, there's no way that my baby is going to see Lord Krishna. And somehow or other, when they dismiss him, he's dressed as in the garb of a renunciate, but with snakes around him and matted hair and very unappealing presence. Baby Krishna cries and cries and cries. Nobody understands what's happening, why he's crying, because he is missing his devotee. And so finally they make the connection that maybe this individual who is so fear-inducing is something that Krishna wants to have a sight of, wants Krishna to see him. So then they put them together, and of course Lord Shiva very respectfully worships the Supreme Lord with great love and affection, and his desire is fulfilled to actually see Krishna in a baby form, and then he goes away. So there are so many endless pastimes of Lord Krishna everywhere. And something that I found pretty interesting is how Sanatana Goswami talks about Lord Shiva in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. But let's go to the verse first and get this part taken care of. So let me get to the verse. So today the verses, we're going to go through our verses 12 and 13. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 63, verses 12 and 13. Pritag Vidani, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pritak Vidani Prayukta Pinakyastrani Sharangrine Pradyastrai Shamayam Asa Shringa Paniravismitaha Pritak Vidani Prankyunkta Pinakyasrani Shangrine Pradyastrai Shamayam Asa Saranga Paniravismitaha Pritakvidani Prayunkta Pinakyastrani Shangine Pradyastrai Shamayamasa Saranga Paniravismitaha. Pritakvidani Prayukta Pradyastrai Shamayamasa Sharanga Paniravismitaha Pritakvidani Prayukta. Pritakvidani Prayukta Vinakyas Rani Shrangine Prajastrai Shamayasa Shranga Pariyavismitaha Pritak Vidani of various kinds. Prayunkta, engaged. Pinaki, Lord Shiva, the holder of the trident. Astrani, weapons. Srankine, against Lord Krishna, the holder of Sranga. Prati Astrahi, with counter weapons. Shamayam Asa, neutralize them. Saringapanihi, the carrier of Shranga. Avismitaha, not perplexed. Srila Jiva Goswami, there are no commentaries, no purports by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, but we have Jiva Goswami's commentary. Lord Shiva, wielder of the trident, shot various weapons at Lord Krishna, wielder of Shranga. But Lord Krishna was not in the least perplexed. He neutralized all these weapons with appropriate counter weapons. Please repeat. Lord Shiva, wielder of the trident, shot various weapons at Lord Krishna, wielder of Shranga. But Lord Krishna was not in the least perplexed. He neutralized all these weapons with appropriate counter weapons. So Srila Jiva Goswami writes, they use weapons like the Brahmastra, shooting them separately. They both use bows, fighting according to the rules. Krishna shot his arrows casually, avismitaha. And Shrilanatha Sanatana Goswami, they use weapons like the Brahmastra, shooting them separately. Krishna, holder of the bow, fought only with the bow rather than use his chakra because he was at a great distance from Shiva. Shiva, holder of the trident, also fought with the bow. Krishna was not proud of Vismitaha when Shiva used his weapons, or he did not smile during this battle. It's interesting to know that Banasura is Kshatriya, and he abides, well, of course, this is Krishna and Lord Shiva, but to give you an example of how Lord Shiva is protecting Banasura with full respect for him, because first of all, he's his devotee. Banasura is Lord Shiva's devotee, and Banasura follows the rules of Kshatriya conduct perfectly. In other words, we will see that when there is, for example, 18 Aksohinis coming from the enemy, he is going to have only 18 Aksohini to fight, not more to overwhelm the enemy. So he wants to do the fighting in a very fair way. And that's a good quality for a person to have, to be respectful of the norms and to abide by the rules and regulations, to conduct the battle in a very, very gentlemanly manner. Text 13. Ram Vayavyasya cha parvatam Agneyasya cha parjanyam Najam Pashupatasya cha. Lord Krishna counteracted a Brahmastra with another Brahmastra, a wind weapon with a mountain weapon, a fire weapon with a rain weapon, and Lord Shiva's personal Pashupastra weapon with his own personal weapon, the Narayan Astra. These are amazing weapons, the last two, Pashupastra weapon and the Narayan Astra weapon. They have immense capacity and capability for destroying the enemy. But now this is a fight between Lord Shiva and Sri Krishna. Vishwanath Thakur, there is no purport. Counteracting Shiva's weapons is described in this verse. Brahmastra was countered with a Brahmastra. The verb released is understood from the previous verse. In other words, they are releasing all these weapons. Krishna countered the Pasupata weapon, which is Lord Shiva's weapon, from his own weapon, the Narayan Astra. And Jiva Goswami repeats the same thing. When Shiva used a Brahmastra, Krishna also used a Brahmastra. These are, how do you call them? Kind of weapons? Nuclear weapons. The verbs in the previous verse, Najam, means his own. So each one owns one of these nuclear weapons and they're using it against each other. Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Staptayatale Swayam Pakadama Hepatisa Akaruna Gopesha Radha Kanta Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanu Sutedevi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpataruvyasya Sindhu Titanam Pavanevya Vaishnavevya Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Well, there is no activity that is successful in devotional life unless the Maha Mantra is there. So anything we do, we go on the altar, we study the books, we do whatever it is that we're doing, cooking, everything is successful by the presence of the Maha Mantra. And the Maha Mantra is described extensively, the power of the Maha Mantra, in Canto, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Canto 20, and so many other parts, in Adi Lila, Chapter 7, toward the end of the chapter. So let's have the Maha Mantra ever present in our consciousness, whatever we do to serve the Supreme Lord. And let's do nothing but to serve the Supreme Lord. Be presided and blessed by Lord Krishna's holy name. All right, so here, I was reading a lot of stuff yesterday, and I was actually overwhelmed by all the information and all the participation of Lord Shiva is ever present in all of these pastimes. And here it is explained, thank you very much, muito obrigada, how, see if I can find it. Please bear with me. Well, Lord Shiva and Narada Muni have interesting conversations. And one of the conversations is how he's been praised, Lord Shiva has been praised to be the highest devotee. And Lord Shiva is not taking that. He's saying, well, what about the Parad Maharaj, and what about this person and that person? And Narada insists that he is the greatest devotee because he is, in the Shastra, declared to be the highest devotee, the highest servant of the Supreme Lord. So we don't pray to Lord Krishna like some people do for material benefits. But we can pray to the Supreme Lord Lord Shiva to give us pure love for Krishna, to make us, to cleanse our hearts, to intervene for us, to recommend us to the Supreme Lord. So I'm going to read something from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Lord in the presence of the Prachetas, and this is from Canto 4. Let me get to it. Where Lord Shiva is praising the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So we have practically the whole chapter. It's called Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. So here we have this is chapter 24, Canto 4, chapter 24, verse 13. There are many verses here I'm going to be referencing. King Prachinavarhi begot 10 children in the womb of Shatadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas. When all the Prachetas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When all the sons of Prachinavarhi, the Prachetas, left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who out of great mercy instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinavarhi meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. This is a conversation that Vidura is asking Maitreya. My dear Brahmana, this is Vidura asking Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them. The great sage Vidura continued, O best of the Brahmanas, this is verse number 17, 4:24:17. O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities encaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact. Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like Goddess Kali and Goddess Durga. So, the Prachetas, these are verses 24 and 25. The Prachetas were fortunate to see Lord Shiva, the chief of the demigods. Lord Shiva made his appearance to them because of the sincerity of their purpose to worship the Supreme Lord Krishna. The Prachetas were fortunate to see Lord Shiva, the chief of the demigods, emerging from the water with his associates. His bodily luster was like molten gold. His throat was bluish, and he had 3 eyes which looked very mercifully upon his devotees. He was accompanied by many musicians who were glorifying him. As soon as the Prachetas saw Lord Shiva, they immediately offered their obeisances in great amazement and fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Shiva became very pleased with the Prachetas because generally Lord Shiva is the protector of pious persons and persons of gentle behavior. Being very much pleased with the princes, he began to speak as follows. And so now, he's going to enter into a eulogy of Lord Krishna. Lord Shiva is going to glorify Lord Krishna extensively. There are many, many verses. Verse 28. Any person, Lord Shiva is speaking, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. 29. A person who executes his occupational duty properly for 100 births becomes qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And if he becomes more qualified, he can approach Lord Shiva. A person who is directly surrendered to Lord Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets, but it has to be unalloyed devotional service. Also, he has the Buddhas and the Hyakas and all the personalities that he is protecting. He is extremely fond of those who are devotees to the Supreme Lord, and he's very merciful to these lower class entities. Lord Shiva and other demigods attain these planets after the destruction of this material world. So you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such, I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, and that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Actually, understanding the principle that Lord Shiva is the best devotee of the Supreme Lord is a very pleasing situation, because when people think about Lord Shiva and Krishna being at times being enemies, fighting with each other, etc., they need to understand that this is all lila, that is a pastime, that Lord Shiva is fighting with the Supreme Lord, as Omkara Prabhu mentioned, in order to please him, in order to make the whole situation extremely exciting and full of emotion and full of life, and uniquely so. So if people understand, those who are partidaries or in the party of Lord Shiva versus Lord Krishna, like there are so many, I think that Shiva is the Supreme Lord, if they understand this principle, then they will realize that Lord Shiva is actually the greatest benefactor, because he benefits all those people, good and bad, but especially the devotees who are completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord. And all that he does is to please the Supreme Lord, enhance the Supreme Lord's pastimes. At that point, I think that the war between those two parties would cease to exist. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm going to read some of the purports, like in verse number 28. Any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Now Lord Shiva explains the reason he has personally come before the princes. Now we're talking about the Prachetas, remember? It is because all the princes are devotees of Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 19. Bahunam jammanam mante jnanam mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvam iti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. This is one of the most important verses in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Shiva is rarely seen by common men. And similarly, a person who is fully surrendered unto Vasudeva Krishna is also very rarely seen, because a person who is fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord is very rare. And here we have immense benefit of falling into the association under the care of Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, and the whole line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all the personalities in our Varga. Consequently, Lord Shiva came especially to see the Prachetas because they were fully surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Since Vasudeva is the ultimate truth, Lord Shiva openly proclaims that one who is a devotee of Lord Vasudeva, who is surrendered to Lord Krishna, is actually very dear to him. Lord Vasudeva Krishna is worshipable not only by ordinary living entities, but by demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and others. So let's go to verse 30 and see what Prabhupada comments on verse 30, the purport. I'll read the verse again. You are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Who is saying this? Who is saying this verse? Lord Shiva. And he's talking to Prachetas. We're still in Bhagavatam Canto 4, chapter 24. This is verse 30. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I'm dear to them. So here realizes that the devotees worship Lord Shiva for spiritual benefits, not for material benedictions. I know in this way, Lord Shiva says, that the devotees also respect me. So remember that we are in the line of the Supreme Personality of the Head Lord Shri Krishna, worship of him, and we also worship and venerate Lord Shiva. Thus no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Is it time already? So it's like diving into an ocean of information about Lord Shiva, and it's like swimming in the most wonderful, warm waters of devotion, understanding the principles of Lord Shiva and being able to participate in all his pastimes by hearing them, by learning about them, and by developing our love and admiration for the Supreme Lord Shiva, who is the greatest devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. I mean, this is just the beginning because there's so much about Lord Shiva. I was like, what am I going to say? There's so much. In any case, just a little taste. And it's based on the classes by Omkara Prabhu, who really woke me up a certain understanding. And Maharaj, who also did the same thing. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, the devotees of the Lord ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govinda
Adipurusham Amaham Bhajami
Govinda Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha
Namakam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Samaniki Domante Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gurmani Machar, Nevasesha, Shunyavadi, Paschachat, Desacharande. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Goloka Nana Goloka Nana Dragate. Jaya Radha Goloka Nana Goloka Nana Dragate. Jaya Radha Radhe Radhe Jai Om Vishnu Pada. Anam Gloria, Shima, divine grace. Abhaya Shanama,
Jai. 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 Jai.
So this week for Harinam, we wanted to go on Friday, but it's going to be a stormy day. But Saturday is supposed to be beautiful, so we'll be at Weaver Street Market at 11:30 in the morning on Saturday for Harinam Sankirtan. Hey Krishna. Chaitodarpanam marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyakairavya Nandrikavitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Paramvidayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuvada Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita niyamita smarane nakala etadrishita vakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midvishami hajjanina anuraga trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari nadanam najanam nasundarim Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatad bhakti ahoitaki twai ai nanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame. Hare Krishna. Niravada pankaja stita duli sajashim vichintaya nayanam gadadashu daraya vadaram gadgaduridaya gira pulakarnishitam vapukada Tavanama grahane bhavishyati yugayatam namishena chakshusha pravashayatam shunayatam jagat sarvam govindam virahena me ashlishya vapadamratam banastumam adarshanam marmahata karotuva yatatata vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I fall into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, I be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name. When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are